Hey everyone, Tommy from TechNexus, and thanks for joining me on today's video. For this week, we've gone through a bit of Revit, a bit of Navisworks, trying to coordinate models with Plant3D. And today, I just wanted to run an isometric or two and just see how they're looking and just demonstrate that we can run an ISO in an area onto the rack and off the rack as well. Now I know I've got some lines in here that do go on and off a rack, and their connection points are actually at the elbows. So you can connect a pipe in a field weld on a straight run, but it is better to do it at a weld where the next fitting is. So this line here is inside the Area 3 file. So if I go to my Area 3 piping, and I can see here that I've got some of these lines coming out of these reboilers, they go onto the rack and then they join up with an XREF. So that is line number, if I go to the properties, that is going to be line number 1007. Okay, so I just go to my ISOs, go to production ISO, look for line number 1007 and do it as let's do it as a final A2 and go create. So what that's going to do is just run locally, and if you look down the bottom right of your plant screen, there's a little orange colored isometric valve symbol that has the word ISO on it. If you hover your mouse over it, it says that it's currently being processed in the background, and we're just going to let that process. And what will happen is you'll receive a notification balloon, so similar to the XREF notification balloon or any other notification balloons that happen within the CAD products. You will get the balloon down the bottom right here, and then you can click on a link. If you're keen, you can also look at the isometric tab here and see if it's run. So I know that this 1007 has run, and I can see that there's 4 files. It's created an overflow, and the same thing if I click on the icon, there's an overflow there. Now that's not necessarily a bad thing. It depends on your settings. It might have carried through because the table was so big on one sheet, it's overflowed to a second sheet as well. So we're just going to have a look at how it comes out. So we can see that it started at this reboiler, come down, up. So the second one continues on from that valve, and you can see around here is where it joins onto the rack. So there is a field weld here as well, but Plant has automatically thrown that pipeline onto the rack. And also I'll have the settings on there to say place a field weld every 6 meters. So at the 6 meter mark, it's put a field weld. And then we run up to the next. Okay, so this is why that we got the overflow. So the weld list was too big for the first sheet. Okay, and then it came through to the second sheet, and then the third ISO is us running back into TK001 there. So we do have a full system ISO there, so you can fabricate from that, and then you can probably have a think about, you might even want to manually split this ISO up. So you might put a manual break here, and then that way you sort of have a little bit more of an even look there with the isometrics. Okay, so that was line number 1007. If I do another one, so this one is under the properties, 1012. So let's do the same for 1012. Final A2 and go create. And then I'm just going to let that run. So now that ISO has been run, we click on the balloon and we get 1012-1. Okay, and then if we look for 1012 over here in the list, 1012-2. So coming out of the reboiler, up onto the rack, and then just stops as an open end, so it's going off the rack somewhere. Obviously, in your project or in a real project, it would be going somewhere. It wouldn't just be an open-ended pipe, but that's just for this project. So again, your project shouldn't have an open end, but there you go. So don't be afraid to run pipelines on and off racks. Plant3D will run the line number as if it was one line number, even though they're XREF files together. So hopefully it's been informative for you. Thumbs up if you liked the video, thumbs down if you didn't. Please do subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon to get daily notifications of all of my videos. And I will see you tomorrow for some Navisworks, and I'm going to do something tricky with the animations, and hopefully it satisfies some people's needs and requirements for Plant3D. And I'll see you then. See ya.